True crime tale site. Well, YouTube, ding dong here. Some more information on Delphi murders. Now, tunnel on the left. Someone was supposed to get back to me on that and said they seen that tunnel supposedly somewhere. If it wasn't that one or similar to it. And then they were supposed to get back to me on that. Something about them underground tunnels, right? So I get a message the other day asking if I'm in the Facebook pages of the Delphi murders, which I am not. For the time being, I am off Facebook due to the simple fact that Facebook just wasn't covering my stuff for me. Meaning that, come on, Ted. Come on. Meaning that I put up stuff in to get looked at, and it just, due to the fact that I got more friends and family on Facebook than, actual websites I like to get, or Facebook pages I like to get noticed by, just don't work for me. And then try and keep touch with everybody, but it's tough. People don't interact as much, so I don't know. I just shut down. I didn't shut down my page, but I shut off for it now because I'm focusing more on my YouTube channel. Like I say, got a busy night tonight. Police coming. God damn. Doing about 90 down here. But anyways, like I said, I'm focusing more on my YouTube channel. Got a full moon out tonight, folks. That big bad baby. Ooh. And Facebook, just, I don't know. I wrote back to the person anyways and told him, you know what? If I watch or try and read content of other people's stuff, I get accused of stealing people's stuff, and that's what happens every friggin' time I go look into something. So I try and stay out of that, for that mere fact. But when someone does, says something about the case, don't get me wrong, I'm most definitely on it, and I search what they say. And now we are not only looking into tunnels, like the one on the left where someone said they seen it in an article or something they were reading. That was like in the beginning of the crime, when it first started hitting the news and all that, And then someone's telling me about the culvert piping. Now, I didn't know I never knew that it was called culvert, or whatever the hell it is. Culvert piping, which is what you see right in the huge piping in the ground. Once I seen them, like, oh, I know what that is, but I just thought it was like, big overflow main drains. I thought it was probably called a main drain, for an overflow of water to go in the water drainage system. Because, when you get them pipes, man, I was looking through the, scrolling through all them piping things, and this one supposedly is soundproof on Ron Logan's land. Like I said, I was scrolling through it, man, while one guy was standing in front of one that could most rightfully been like 20 friggin' or 15 feet high. It looked like it was that wide around, So, someone had mentioned, oh, what, you don't know about a culvert pipe? No. If you would have said a drainage pipe, I probably would have known. This is the piping like they have in the friggin' movie, you know, It and The Fugitive with, of course, the great love Harrison Ford, him running through the pipe system. You know, a lot of movies have these in them. And supposedly this is on Ron Logan's land. Now, how big it is, of course, the person didn't say it. And leads me to think, damn, if there is a tunnel or if it was just a culvert pipe that they're talking of, well, then that would explain why Ron Logan became a huge prime suspect. But like I said, I did a, analyst of the body figure of that guy, and he had a huge bear gut. And I don't even think it was him, because he got caught up in his crap with his drunk driving shit out on his property. But whatever it was, you know. Whether or not he was involved, though, hey, maybe, you know. Don't disclose anything. Maybe he's seen the culprit. Maybe he knew him. Maybe he let him pass through his culvert pipe or whatnot. But I don't know, man. This is just led me to something different. Because if that is true, and this, as you can see, this is probably what his pipe system looks like. I'm not saying that's the original one, of course, but it shows a damn good way of showing how that damn thing, right, sets into the ground. And I have came across some of these, mind you, in New York. Somewhere where I lived, I can remember. You know, I was going to run in there with a friggin' couple of friends, but then I was like, man, I ain't getting my shoes wet, man. These are my new shoes. You know, shoes was the factor. I don't want to ruin them, because I just got them. And they're like, no, come on, man, let's run through, because sometimes they can get as deep as that, as you can see, of course. But that's a concrete one made. But still, it does give a good example of what the person was talking about and what's at the property. So, not only the BG guy could have ran through the cemetery, you know, through this pipe, or through the Mears farm is the one that's supposed to have that tunnel under it. So not only does, Ron Logan is supposedly to have this, that other tunnel exists under the Mears farm. But yeah, they're not too far off from each other. But yeah, they were both, all this is farming land, we gotta remember, right? So, whatever this guy uses it for, Ron Logan, and that only, makes the assumption, or not just an assumption, that the bridge guy, right, knows the area very well is right. But, like I said, that ain't changing my thoughts and theories of the good crew trying to frame the meth crew. And for that being said, and someone in the good crew happened to just, yeah, that's right, know the area very well, get the F out of Dodge, but still, that don't explain you can use these tunnels too as an escape route. But if a vehicle was seen, I'm sure the vehicle ain't driving through these goddamn things. So, if they're going on about saying that these tunnels are where the bridge guy escaped, then why is there a vehicle involved? That puts the vehicle in a different position, is right. You got so many witnesses, and as far as I can see now, when I first started this, and like I say, I don't like going into these groups either. You know what? Screw it. I don't like going into people's content, because I like to start from the beginning like I have. And like I say, I've came out with some good points. I've thought of some good stuff of my own. And for that being said, you know, and just keep coming up with stuff. And this stuff was never mentioned in the beginning. This stuff was never mentioned in articles in the beginning. And of course, everything I've went over, you can see in my stuff. And I swear to God, if it was up there, I would have went over it. I would have went over this culvert pipe. And the tunnels came up later on too. And like I say, see how I started at the beginning and everything comes up now. In the piping in the ground, that has come up like 4 or 5 days ago. I've been meaning to do this video, but I've just been, doing my other things because the ghost hunting is getting very active. And today, at the crypt I was at today, mind you, there was an unexplained noise that I heard, and I put the time on actually when it happened. And there was nothing in that crypt, and it wasn't me moving because my hand was directly in a very small cut cross-like hole as I show in the video. And there's no way in hell anybody's going to say I was making noise in that crypt. With just an arm hanging, I don't think so. But I mean, this is a very interesting detail to go over. Like I say, it has come up now. I never seen this in the beginning of when I started on this case. But now it's a big issue. But with that being said, like I said, where did the vehicle end up if he escaped or used any of these tunnels for an escape route? Could he have been walking through the tunnel and left the car somewhere else rather than everybody saying they seen it inside the beginning of the trail? And I mean, I'm sure the guy that said he's got 3 years worth of work on this case, and he told me, if I watch it, you'll get a hint of it. He knows a lot of it. And the guy parked his car at the beginning of the trail where the first bridge sets, that I believe, right, is the man-made bridge near the highway more. And he claims he walked in and walked out that same path. And I'm sure he's rolling in his seat right now with people coming up with info like this in these tunnels and now this culvert pipe. So, that's right. What's really going on in this case? And like I say, I haven't been on this for a while because there's not a lot to look into right now. But now that someone had brought this up, it's very interesting where they're getting this info from and how they're getting this info and what. And I asked them, well, what has this got to do with anything of the case now? Because, right, there was supposedly an escape vehicle. And the only way he would have been able to do that if this was on Ron Logan's property is, right, he parked it, the guy knew he was there, and then he left. Or he just didn't want any involvement with it, Ron Logan, and got himself in trouble. That's the only thing I can think of. That he didn't want to get in trouble. That's why he got arrested that day. Because he seen this guy. And maybe the guy threatened to kill Ron Logan. Or did something by nature to scare him. So that's when he, oh, you're going to do this? I'm going to go get arrested. I ain't getting involved with this. And bang, he gets himself arrested. He go pops himself a drink. That's the only thing I can come out, this determination of why this piping now is coming up. Or Ron Logan was involved, but was not the murderer, but knew what was going on and, right, shut his eyes to it. But why did he let him get himself arrested is beyond me. So, I mean, that's the only real theory I can come up with. That why, if this Ron Logan property piping is being now investigated on Facebook. Who knows, the story is not getting solved because of the simple fact is right. There's a good crew that effed up, and they're going to try everything they can do to get that meth crew accountable for it. Or if they get someone else in there, whatever it takes, whatever this corrupt system tries to do to cover their tracks. So that's my new stuff on this. Like I said, I haven't been on it because I have looked in any updates, anything, but I know Greeno's still shooting out videos on this. But I might go watch some of his stuff to see if he's gotten any of these tunnels yet, or if he's checked into them. I want to comment them, but I did once and I haven't heard nothing from him about these tunnels and what they are connected to. But hey, who knows? Like I say, I got some investments coming up because I have just won a settlement. And I tell you, honestly, once I start rolling in with a little extra cash, you don't be surprised if you don't see me out here in these towns, in these cities, investigating. I'm coming for you. BG. Till that next video. Hey, be safe. Take care. Always beware. Always beware. Out.